Moin and welcome to the next stream of Final Fantasy XIV. We're doing the main story quest today because, well, yesterday we weren't able to even start it. I was just doing the new raid series, which was pretty good. I really liked it. I talked about that a lot yesterday. It was just overall a really well done quest. The dialogue was written beautifully, the characters are great, especially the interactions between Reen and Gaia were incredible, and the normal modes from the new fights are pretty good as well. I do like all of the enemies, the designs that they did, designs for the arenas. I did just a little bit of Savage yesterday. My group is going to be tackling it probably next week properly, so until then I don't really know how it's like to actually go through the Savage fights myself. So far the first one, I mean, we only did like an hour and we got Ramuh about halfway down, I think, until he does his big charge. And for the most part, that fight is fun. I kind of don't like the semi-randomness of the orbs that you have to pick up, because obviously the orbs, they are not really random. There are, I think, 8 orbs that actually always spawn at the same location around Ramuh, and then there are additional orbs on the outside which are a bit random. They do spawn on the same places every time, but whether or not there are 2 or 1, I think, is random, and they do switch sides. At least it looked like it, so I'm not 100% certain on that, but especially with a knockback that comes later on, it's a bit annoying. I mean, overall, of course, it doesn't, at least at that point in the fight, it doesn't really matter if, you know, the DPS, for example, pick up 2 instead of only 1 orb. As long as when the ad comes, the tank has more than everybody else, it's fine. But it's still a bit weird that you have to run through the arena without having like really set locations for where you specifically pick up your orb, and then also the clouds in combination with the people who get the debuff that confuses them if they're not hit by a cloud. You know, all these people are running around everywhere. We definitely have to find you know, a strategy that is just more consistent, I think. Yeah, I mean, overall it's an okay fight so far. I hope that, like, the second phase, I don't know, I watched some streams yesterday after we did Savage, but obviously all the World Pro groups were already on either the last fight or the one before it at the end of E7. So I actually haven't seen Ramuh Savage so far, except for what we did yesterday. So really looking forward to phase 2 of that fight. I hope that there's more to it and that there's more, because so far, like, the first, I guess, a third of the fight is okay, but not all that interesting, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. Because it very much feels like just a... It very much feels like normal mode, just with a bit more positioning. Because obviously in normal mode, I think there's only 2 clouds, and Savage has 4, and the knockbacks need to be more precise with where you're going. But other than that, it's, I don't know, gonna have to wait and see. I mean, even E1 Savage also kind of was like normal mode, just with more precise positioning, you could argue, but it did have the reversed mechanics order going on in its second phase. So after the long ass transition with the ads, and where it blasts you through space. After that, there's actually, you know, all the mechanics are reversed. So everything that had been a stack before, you had to spread, and everything that, you know, like the tank buster, for example, needed to be shared between people with a tank standing at the back, and also the delta attack was reversed. So you had to be close to him rather than far away. So that was kind of a neat trick, although I never really liked that they didn't follow up on that with like a third variant of all the mechanics. It just reverted back to phase 1 basically after it, and then again the reverse order, and then came Enrage. So I don't know. Let's see what Ramu has to offer. Just seeing that in the chat log, I do hope that the new main scenario doesn't lead me to the Tempest, because apparently there's an emergency maintenance going on there. I don't really know why. I haven't really read anything about issues so far with the patch. I mean, I had a few disconnects for whatever reason, but that might be related to the emergency maintenance. So, but let's dive right in. I was really looking forward to doing the main story. I purposefully kept it for today because I knew that I wanted to have Savage unlocked yesterday, and just, you know, taking my time with the raid story was a really great experience yesterday, so I'm really looking forward to doing the main story today. And then the I think they have to be attached to it somehow, the Chronicles of a New Era quest with Gaius and the Ruby weapon. And then maybe later today, I think I'll probably take a look at the new Ruby weapon and what it has to offer. And then I'm probably also going to take a look at some crafting, because I do want to craft, you know, whatever I need. Since we are only diving into Savage properly next week, I do get another chance at drops from the normal mode, and since we're not really hardcore progging, I don't really need overmelded gear, so I'm just gonna take a look at, I did that last time, I'm just gonna take a look at what is gonna take me a while basically. So that's probably either the body piece or the legs. Those are normally the ones that are gonna take me a while to acquire, so maybe I'll get those crafted, and or maybe an accessory, but we'll have to see. I mean, I do have a lot of materia to use, so yeah, I don't know. But I'm drifting off again. Let's get this show on the road. Let's get to Mordona and see what this main story is all about. Also, by doing it this way, I hope that the quest NPCs aren't overrun by people anymore, because obviously that's always what's happening. New patch drops and everybody is just rushing in and doing everything. So while I don't really mind that, it's still, especially with the really good dialogue that they now insert with all the NPCs. So even yesterday, like even in the raid story, or especially in the raid story, they actually did have a lot of additional dialogue that was just said when you just talk to the NPCs in between quest steps. So always talk to the NPC that has the next quest step last, so that you get all of the dialogue if you want it, obviously. But that does get a bit annoying when there are like 200 people standing around you and you need to find all of the NPCs, right? The Rising Stones. What's going on here, by the way? Anything new? The Scions have been busy making new friends of late, and the place is lively again for their presence. I must say, it warms the heart to see folk come together in common cause. Well, that sounds lovely. That's one of the things you don't really think about too much, but I guess because of the Scions being here, I mean, that must mean quite a lot of well, coin that they get to make here, right? In this bar, restaurant thing. Excuse me. I'm gonna just drink my coffee. Still need to wake up because I mean, I did actually sleep a while, but I watched Xeno's stream for a bit. It was really interesting. They were just his team move. They were just starting on the last boss. It was quite interesting. Although the beginning of it wasn't all that spectacular, but still. Mistress Kryl has apprised us for the Archon's present and unexpected situation. You may rest assured we will support her in any way we can to keep their bodies safe. Yeah. It actually... I mean, maybe... I watched somebody else play through the main story a couple weeks ago, so it does feel like I've almost just... or, you know... that I was here just not so long ago. But I guess 5.1, I mean, it's been a while, right? You needn't concern yourself with affairs here in Eorzea. The situation at the Gimlet Dark is well enhanced to the Alliance, and our efforts in containing potential primal threats have proven more than effective. Ah, you think so, huh? I confess there is not a great deal I can do myself, but I am no less determined to do my part, which is why I have focused my efforts on recruiting others to join our cause. Huh. There are not many people here, though. I mean, they wouldn't be here, right? Tataru! What's going on? In caring for the Scions, we've made more than a few new allies. I'm sure they'll be of use in the future once everybody is back safe and sound. Everybody's back, huh? That's really, really interesting. Old enemies, new threats. Ralban, what do you have for us? Kryl is glad for your return, though it remains to be seen if she has glad tidings to share. My, what a pleasant surprise. If you've come to inquire after the Archons, fear not. Master Matoya's treatment has proven effective in stabilizing their corporeal ether. Excuse me. Just had to drink the last bit of coffee before it gets cold. We mustn't grow complacent, however. Potent though these magics may be, they are not without limits. Yeah, my voice is definitely just waking up as well. We can only hope they afford us enough time for the Crystal Exarch to complete his work. If only we could go with you to the First and help. Pardon the interruption, but I come bearing urgent news. Oh, hi. It's been far too long, my friend. Forgive me, I don't believe we have been formally introduced. Maxima, former Galilean ambassador. I remain here in Eorzea under the auspices of Commander Alden. offering what counsel I can in the hopes of resolving the present conflict with the Empire. That's, by the way, that's a really cool way of sort of reminding the player what he's all about. I mean, you know, you do remember. We've met him a couple of times now, but by having him introduce himself to Kryl, it's just, yeah, that's a great bit of dialogue right here. Yes, I have heard stories of a defector from Garlemald, but never mind that. You said you have urgent news. Indeed. As you may have heard, the Imperial capital is in turmoil, and a sizable portion of the Gallian forces have been recalled from the Gimlet Dark. With their numbers so greatly diminished, the main host of the Alliance has withdrawn, leaving the Alamegan resistance to keep watch over the border. And it is there we have welcomed the most unexpected visitor, who claims that this de-escalation may belie growing dangers and unforeseen threats. Well, that's probably Gaius then, I guess. Right? Because that would be him. Well, that's... So... Commander Alvin has arranged for an impromptu meeting to discuss these revelations. He has also requested a representative of the Science attend as well, though it was clear to whom he wished I extend this invitation. It would seem time is of the essence. Well, you'll not be attending this meeting alone. Though I'm not as well versed in the affairs of city-states as our comrades, I see no reason to burden a single Scion with all this. Clyde's coming with me? That's cool. Yes, of course. Then we must make for the Alamegan Quarter with all haste. Well, what are you waiting for? Get going, you two. Just as a side note, I really like how they've managed to bring together the Garlean thread and the still ongoing war between the Garleans and the Eorzean alliance, and all of our dealings on the First. I mean, so far, of course, the First still is definitely by far like the main focus of the story, but we've still, especially with all of with Estinian's roleplay cutscene basically that you had to do in 5.1, they've really done a great job of combining these two storylines. Much better, by the way, than they did in Stormblood with Alamigo and Authard. That always felt very disconnected. Even though it really wasn't, they definitely tried to, to have overlap between them and have characters, move from Eorzea to Authard and, have them talk to each other. All that kind of stuff, but it never really, it always felt very distant, right? I mean, they were fighting the same threat with the Garleans, but it never really connected all that well. Whereas this time, I don't know what it is. It's probably because they did have, like, the Garlean threat and the war against the Garleans was sort of in the background, so it was definitely not the focus of the main story. But it was still always the player was always reminded of what was happening, and just the way they've done that was really good. I feel like the way they've set up the cutscenes and how it all leads together, and you sort of knowing that at some point it will fuse these two storylines again, which might be not now, by the way, but yeah, they did a great job with that. Definitely learned from their mistakes in Stormblood. One second, sorry. Twitch unfortunately keeps messing up my categories. Don't know why. Don't worry about the others. I'll keep an eye on them while you and Kryl are away. Alright. Alamegan Quarter in the locks. It's been a while. Although I've visited Garabania a couple times, mainly to collect materials. Who are you? Ah, right. You're not from around here. Can't imagine what call you'd have to chat with me. But by all means, if you've got something to ask, ask away. What do you do here? That's the question, isn't it? Now that we're free, what are we peregrines, well, former peregrines, I reckon, what are we to do with ourselves? That's what some of the Galileans call An, means foreigner or some such. Can you believe that? I was a foreigner in my own bloody homeland. But no longer, we're free at last, and those imperial whoresons dead in our chains. Who's a little peregrine now, huh? I don't think I've ever talked to her, but no matter. Let's get to... What? I never really learned where or what the layout of this place was, because you were never really, you know, here a lot. Although from this perspective, it does look very sort of inviting. I don't know why they still have the Garlean war machinery here. Instead of, I mean, they should have probably removed that at some point. But this, just, you know, seeing the market, seeing people around, it's kind of cool. Much has changed since the first time we set foot in the city. Now we strive to preserve their freedom rather than reclaim it. But we've no time to reminisce. We must keep the commander waiting. We mustn't. Commander Alden awaits us in the royal palace. If you would follow me. There he is.
They're here, Commander.
And I, for one, am grateful that they are. Told you've been busy since our paths last crossed at the Gimlet Dark.
Indeed I have been.
Not that I understand half of it. When the science spoke of other worlds, I struggled to describe what I pictured. I trust you two require no introduction.
Guys.
We meet again, hero of Eorzea. Must we repeat this ridiculous display? I pose no threat to you, though what I come to warn you of very well might.
Had he meant to do us harm, I hazard he would have kept to the shadows, and brought more than 2 companions.
Yeah, that's pretty true. I don't know what the Warrior of Light is doing.
We need not pretend to be the best of friends, but I hope we can put aside our differences for the present.
As you are doubtless aware, Sir Estinian and I cooperated to rid the world of Black Rose in your absence. Our journey together took us as far as the Imperial Palace, where we witnessed Emperor Varus meet his death at Xenos' hand. Being the sole witnesses to this crime, and in no position to defend our innocence, we were then forced to flee, each pursuing his own avenue of escape. When we were later reunited, Estinian claimed to have encountered an unfamiliar kind of machina during his flight. But to me, his description seemed anything but, and upon further investigation, I found that I was right. Empire is developing a new Ultima weapon.
What, that Allagan monstrosity, created to vanquish primals? With which you yourself once thought to conquer Eorzea?
Why was Justinian unfamiliar with it? I mean, well, we defeated it before we even got to Ishgard, right? So...
The same. In my foolishness, I sought to harness its power, and became the Ascian's pawn in so doing. But you know as well as I how that tale ended. The weapon itself, excavated from beneath this very city, was destroyed ere we could fully unravel its secrets, and that should have been the end of it. But unlikely as it sounds, the Empire's efforts to recreate it have somehow borne fruit, primarily through secret research conducted by the 7th Imperial Legion, it would seem.
Wait, the 7th was all but annihilated at Cartano, along with its legatus.
Indeed. Few survived. The 7th, as it is now, has little in common with the Legion led by Vandanis, and its leadership has changed hands several times since. Precisely how this project has continued despite such turmoil, and under whose auspices, remains a mystery. What we do know, however, is that a number of prototypes have been produced, and that one of them is on its way to Eorzea. We attempted to stop it, but it was all we could do to slow its progress, so we resolved instead to bring you warning.
And right glad are we that you did, though it soundly dashed our hopes that tensions might ease at last.
As it is, we've begun to strengthen our presence in the Gimlet Dark, and are assembling a force to meet the coming threat. A force with you in its vanguard, I hope.
I'm up for it.
Before you say anything, I know full well you have pressing concerns of your own. Your comrades remain in peril, and I would not ask you to forsake them. But the fact remains that you, and you alone, have faced the Ultima weapon, and emerged victorious. We need you.
I mean, technically I had 7 friends with me, but... I guess...
And so, when the time comes, if your comrades can spare you, I bid you lend us your strength. I've assigned an officer to await your word.
The Ascian's downfall was to be the work of my remaining days. But it was my hand that kindled these flames, and I cannot allow them to spread any further. I will do what I must to see this mistake consigned to history once and for all. Even if it means begging your aid. The Fates will enjoy the irony, even as I endure the ignominy.
One second, guys, sorry.
I too shall make for the border and offer my skills, meager though they seem in such company. Mayhap we shall meet there anon.
Oh, I'm really sorry about that. Should be back to the story now. Just quickly take a look at everything. Yeah. Alright, let's get going. I too shall make for the border and offer my skills, meager though they seem in such company. Mayhap we shall meet there anon. So this is probably where the story splits already into Ruby Weapon and the main story in the first. In the first.
Though we can ill afford to ignore the coming of a new Ultima weapon, our friend's plight grows ever more precarious, and none save you can join them in the first. I only hope you are not forced to make a choice.
So... Are we making a choice, or... Oh, wait, that Viera, I think that's a new outfit, right? Was that introduced before? Really looks like a Bavarian dirndl, doesn't it? It's interesting. It's quite cool. I don't remember what the men's version of it looks like. Didn't split right here though, right? Kind of expected there to be another quest. As ever, the way forward is paved with difficult decisions. Oh, the resistance officer, alright. We can ill afford to ignore the threat of a new Ultima weapon, but with each passing day, the plight of the Scions grows ever more perilous. If you cannot stay for a debriefing on the Ultima weapon, I will not stop you. I only ask that you confer with me before returning to the first. So Kryl has the new, or the continuing main story. Let's just accept the quest and then the way home. Kryl can see the steely resolve in your eyes and suspects she knows to where duty calls you. Wait, and what does this say? Is that really supposed to like be a choice? It's kind of kind of ominous how they talk about it, even though obviously you can do both. The Resistance and Alliance forces prepare in earnest as a new threat looms on the horizon. Glad you could make it. As you may have heard, Commander Alden has given orders to embark from Alliance headquarters to hold back the advance of the Empire's latest menace. Not that the soldiers stationed there are too chuffed about being on the front line against these new weapons. They're designed to slay primals. They'd make short work of us, and immortals as well. Mind you, it's Gahius Belza and his followers who've led the charge so far. By all accounts, they've been giving as good as... What? They've been giving as good as they get. Unfortunately, their sorties have met with little success. I dare say they'd benefit greatly from your presence on the battlefield. If you're ready, my colleague over at Porta Pretoria will show you the way. Oh, Porta Pretoria is way over in the distance. Ugh. What? That looks weird. I take it you're ready to return to the first. Then I would ask you that you apprise the others of recent events here in the source, namely Xenos' return and the development of a new Ultima weapon. As for the bodies, you may assure them Master Matoya and I will continue doing what we can to keep their corporeal ether stable. Safe travels. I hope to see you and the other Scions soon. So this just straight leads you to the first then? Speak with the Crystal Axarch in the Ocular. Yeah. Alright. But I think I'm gonna do Ruby Weapon first. Since it does make sense to just stay here for the time being. I don't know how long that questline is. I think it's... the patch notes, it was about like 6-7 quests as well. But let's actually do that first. I just hope that I'll get a short queue. Because it's still morning here, so I don't know how many people are actually doing with the Ruby Weapon normal mode at this time, but well. I always like the music in this zone, man. Such great music. When you're going through like the last bit of the Stormblood main story, this music is always, it's really hyping you up for the end of that story. Is this the vehicle we're taking to Gimlet Dark? I wonder how many soldiers survived thanks to these brave birds. I think they deserve extra feed rations for a moon or two, don't you? Yeah, they probably do. I also always like the Alamegan Chocobo barding. I've used that for a time. Maybe I should actually switch it back. Heading to headquarters, I take it. Yes. It's also very nice that they actually, you know, let you get back to this place, because it does. When the story first led you here, I was a bit disappointed by how it looked, because it's a very confined space, and it's, I mean, obviously the dungeon leads you further down Gimlet Dark, and you know, it makes this place feel more alive, because the dungeon design is really good, but this part I never really liked. But actually getting you back here, it does make it feel like a, you know, like a place that truly exists in this world. Have we ever actually found out that their names are these? Valdolin. To be honest, we weren't sure if you'd ever show up. I, for one, am glad you've decided to throw in your lot with us. Gaia says you are our best hope of defeating that abomination. We have seen only a glimpse of its true power, and even that was more than enough for us. And Gaius is looking at the Eorzean Alliance flags. They do look quite cool. Could have used them more, actually. I don't think that this will be voiced. No, it's not. So, your mind is set. Then I shall appraise you of the situation. We have discovered that the previously abandoned Ultima Weapon project is being helmed by the reformed 7th Legion. They have already succeeded in producing several prototypes, one of which is set to be deployed on the Eorzean front. Its name, the Ruby Weapon. So the Ruby Weapon is actually only a prototype, which is very concerning, right? Because that means that there might be more. Severa and I were able to get within striking distance during one of its test runs and made an attempt to destroy it. I mean, this is a series that is going to continue in the upcoming patches, right? So you would assume that we may fight even more variants of the Ultima Weapon, or newly developed Garlean weapons in the future. An attempt that ended in failure, alas. Based on our knowledge of the original Ultima Weapon, the explosives we employed should have been sufficient to blast through its armor plating, but they barely left a mark. We suspect the gifts of its predecessor may have proven the source of its resilience. As you well know, the Ultima Weapon was designed to absorb ether from icons, and the Ruby Weapon no doubt shares that ability. If any were summoned during the uprisings in Garlemald's occupied territories and thereafter consumed, our enemy would become all the more formidable. But its near impenetrable armor was only the beginning of our troubles. It fought back with whip-like claws that can be extended and contracted at will. In the face of such opposition, we were forced to withdraw. Gaius was injured shielding me from the Ruby Weapon's assault. Even now, we struggle to stand. He struggles to stand. Damn it all. If I hadn't been so careless, this wouldn't have happened. You need not concern yourself. Let us not forget that I am the one who initiated the Ultima Weapon project. If I must give my life to bury this shameful legacy, then so be it. If you were to face it as you are now, you'd be cut down before you even hopped within firing distance. By the way, I was just reminded, the way we were introduced to Gaius back in the Stormblood patch quests, he called himself Shadowhunter because he was hunting Ascians. But that storyline we never really heard about again, right? Because after that, he basically during Shadowbringers with Justinian together, he became the one that handled the whole Black Rose thing. So we never really heard about his endeavors with the Asians. We just know that he apparently killed some of them, or their followers, or like lesser Asians. I wonder if that's going to play a role at some point. In any case, we can't afford to lose the information in your head on both the foe we face and the Empire itself. We all know that asking for Marcus's assistance presents our best chance of stopping that war machina. 'Tis true that if anyone were capable of putting down such a monstrosity, it would be him. Though I have no right to ask this of you, will you lend us your strength? Well, is there a choice? I'm not one to back down from a fight. That's a cool line. You have my thanks. And mine, though I must impress upon you the urgency of our situation. We have received word that the Empire is preparing to advance on the Gimlet Dark. That is where we will intercept them. If our fears are proven correct, the ruby weapon will be among their host. Should it break through our lines, there is no telling the devastation it will wreak. Make no mistake, the very survival of Eorzea hangs in the balance. Once you have steeled yourself for the battle ahead, your escort will lead the way. Well, you get right to it then, right? Huh. What price must the world pay for my hubris? I mean, to be fair, if Gaius hadn't advanced the Ultima weapon project, they probably would have found another way to do that. I mean, it was... At the end of the day, it was an Asian's project, right? Oh, Verlet's Magitech installation. So Verlet is a province, I suspect, where they developed this thing. Commencing Ruby weapon activation sequence. All units stand by. It has somewhat of a weird design, right? It kind of looks cool, but at the same time it looks weird as well. Strange. But, I mean, just getting back to that for a second. So Verlet is a Gallian province at the moment, right? But it's not, like, originally a Garlemald or Gallian territory, I suspect. It's really interesting what kinds of facilities they have all over their territories. Initiating synthetic Arcite system. Fusion successful. No signs of incompatibility. Oh God. Awaiting your signal. So, I guess that's what they were testing when Stylian fought like one of the prototypes, right? Because there was like a creature, or human of some kind, Gallian, like fused with the prototype that he fought. Ruby weapon, codename Darkness, ready for launch. Was there always this music here, by the way? Because that's the music from one of the dungeons in Stormblood. The 4.5 main story dungeon had this music. It's kind of doesn't really fit the situation, I feel like, but well. Not only are the ruby weapon's claws as quick as lightning, they move with an uncanny degree of flexibility and can strike from where you least expect it. That sounds great. Though I will not be able to join the battle with a ruby weapon, I have been tasked with keeping an escape route back to the Eorzean front clear, should you need to make a hasty retreat. good to know. Given all we've come to expect from the Ascians, it wouldn't surprise me if they were behind the summoning of whatever primates the ruby weapon has absorbed. That's an interesting point. What is, what's his name? Elidibus doing? And has he any, like, hand in this? Because, I mean, technically that's what we've seen at the end of Shadowbringers. Or I guess it wasn't it in the last, like in 5.1 patch series? It looked like like Garlemald was in a bit of a turmoil, right? With people fighting left and right and fighting over whoever would follow Varys on the throne. So them being able to actually come up with a project like this and execute it as well as they appear to be doing now, you do suspect, or you kind of get a feeling that there might be an Ascian behind it as well. Valdolin has briefed me on our mission. I am to take you as far as our expected point of contact with the ruby weapon. Once we arrive, the rest is up to you, I'm afraid. Cinder Drift. Now let's hope that people are actually doing it this morning. Is it just... So this is Gimlet Dark and Cinder Drift. It's also pretty cool. Thou, the original Ultima weapon, piloted by Gaius Belsa, was destroyed in the decisive battle at the Praetorium. Garlemald has been secretly developing its successor. Now this diabolical melding of Alagan and Gaulean technologies has been deployed to annihilate those who would oppose the Empire. At the behest of none other than Gaius Belsa himself, you cross the scorched battlefield of the Gimlet Dark to halt this crimson menace before it lays waste to Eorzea. Well, let's see then. Average wait time 9 minutes. Well, I hope that's true. I don't actually really want to wait a very long time for this. But, I mean, this does give us time to maybe speculate a bit about what comes after that. I mean, obviously these quests are continuing as well, right? There are several quests after this. After you fight the ruby weapon. By the way, where do you unlock the extreme version of it? Was it Mordona? No, it wasn't, right? It was in Alamigo or something? Something weird like that? Well, but this whole quest line, I do wonder how it will continue, right? Because you have to remember, it's like the Warring Triad or the Four Lords questline in Stormblood. So there will be probably 2 more trials that we have to fight or to participate. Wait, what? There will be 2 more trials we have to participate in. That is what I wanted to say. So I guess we're fighting more Ultima weapon things or weapons similar to that, it looks like. Yeah. I do wonder whether it leads though. I mean, what's the conclusion at the end? Will it just be that we finally stop the fighting between Garlemald and the Eorzean Alliance? Because that feels a bit... I mean... obviously we don't really know what the next... what 6.0 will be, right? That's something that is... I mean, still quite a long way in the future, so... But if 6.0 is going to be Garlemald, or at least if it continues the whole story with the fight against the Gauleans, then these quests, wouldn't they be a necessary prerequisite to that story then? How are they going to do that? Do you have to do these in order to continue whatever other story there will be? Because these now they're technically side quests for the game, but they seem to continue the actual main story of fighting the Garleans. So that's really interesting how they did that. Maybe they actually force you to do them at some point to continue the main story. I mean, technically, the war in Triad was also a pretty important thing, right? Although we haven't really continued that story, right? With the Ulu Kalhe, is that his name? Like the boy from the 13th. I always felt like they would continue that story somehow. Maybe it's the Eden story, maybe that has to do something with the 13th shard as well, but so far, I mean, we have all of this like background information about what's been happening to the Void, all that kind of stuff, but it was never really all that important, I guess. Then again, if you haven't done the Crystal Tower series, Shadowbringer still happens, right? You just don't know that it's Grahatia who's in the Crystal Tower. So technically, somebody else then did it, I guess. So they might just continue a story like this without having you forced into anything. Yeah, which is still... I don't know. I really don't know why they would... I mean, they... Oh, they're in top. They could really just include stories like this just as a prerequisite to other quests. I don't know why they don't do that, because, I mean, even before Shadowbringers, right, with the Moogle event and all, people were running the Crystal Tower raid series anyway, so I really don't know why they don't put these as, like, mandatory quests at some point. I mean, they're doing it now, apparently, with the Relic Weapon and the Evilise raid series, right? So, it's a bit inconsistent. So let's see what this is all about. Cinder Drift. The Gimlet Dark really looks... I mean, not only is it a dark place, but now it has all this, like, war stuff, war machines going on. The music's cool. Mark III, Anti-Icon War Machina. Ruby weapon. Hello there. Oh, we're pretty close to it, actually. Should I go with Titan or E3? Let's just go with Titan. It's always fun to use him. That did quite a lot of damage, I felt. Optimized ultimate. This is the big one. Flexiclaw. Ravenclaw. Raven's Claw. Wait, oh shit. Why didn't it... Liquefaction. Yeah, this is what we saw in the life letter. UV ray. I guess it's just shooting in front. Yeah. But I already forgot that was red white. Should have probably added that. You won't even see it coming. Oh, that's cool. So the AoEs follow the markings on the ground. Oh, I'm totally messing up my rotation. High-powered homing lasers. That's probably something to add. Holy shit. That actually does quite a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Raven's Flag? Whoa. What the heck is this? Ah, alright. Yeah, I totally missed how that would work. That I didn't expect at all. Way too slow to catch on what it was doing. Homing lasers. I'm always kind of, you know, Ruby dynamics. Holy shit. Look at that. Holy shit. Wait, why did that... That was dumb. Should have picked up the healer. Alright, now stand on these things again. Wait, is that launches? What did that do? These AoEs are following them then? Well, I mean, that's pretty easy to evade, to be honest. One of the healers almost died. That's really strong. Now he's doing that again. Wait, so he starts out there. Alright. Oh, he actually becomes untargetable. I didn't catch that the first time around. That's the tank thruster, I think. Everybody ran out of the Titan AoE. Sorry guys, that's mine. Wait, what? Oh shit. The bar is dying a lot. Plexiglass. So this is definitely gonna be interesting. I have to stand on these again, I think. little faction, yeah. But it does change. Like sometimes he does the whirling sands stuff, and then sometimes he does like another thing. Wait, isn't it over? Why isn't it dying? That was weird. Why? Wait, didn't it die right away? Oh, because it... Is it just exploding? Commencing forced shutdown and system restart? Yeah, what? What the heck? What? Wait, what? What the fuck's going on? Holy shit, she looks really creepy. What the fuck is going on? I should erase the same New York project. Gollum was reborn? What the fuck is going on? Are those like Nail things? What the hell? This I didn't expect. And it's even got the dive bombs. Holy shit. Holy fuck. What the fuck is going on here? She's actually... What the hell? Wait, this is actually happening, right? This is not like a dream or what? Magitech Meteor. Let's get the blood up again. Yeah. Fall death to the undeserving? Timed that shield correctly. Oh shit. Ah! No! Mark II Magitech Comet. What the hell is happening here? Oh, do we have to stand on these? Like in the, Oh, right. We have to stand here, I guess? Yeah. Can we still... What? Can't do anything? That looks incredible. Gollum did fall, I know to be true. What the hell is happening? Your name shall live on for eternity. Outrage. How? What? Why? At least it's got a checkpoint in normal mode there. That's fair, I guess. Yeah, of course, just... So they are doing tank busters actually. We need a bit more healing, guys. Those were died for. Imagery. Holy... I really don't know what to say. This is such an incredible fight. I mean, when you think about this is actually happening. How is this happening? I guess it doesn't really matter which one you're going behind. He still hasn't caught on to how that works. I probably shouldn't take these actually. I guess I have to. Now, how does that work? I need a shield! But damn it. What the hell? Wait, do we just have to shield that? Or are we missing something? Because I took like 110k damage. Oh, maybe a meteor got through? Oh shit, I'm still one Titan. Even though the shield doesn't really do any, like, all that much, but people are still running out of that. Seriously, guys? Does it do so much damage? Oh, I have to take a look. It's really weird that it does like 110k, because you could theoretically probably reprisal and arrow that and he might be okay. For this. Did we do it? Nice one. I guess she's just repeating. Whatever happened before? Ah, congrats. This is really... It's quite a confusing fight, to be honest. For a normal mode. They really pumped up the normal modes this time around, I feel like. Is it still... Is it doing anything else, or is it just spamming its like soft damage attack? Is that an actual enrage? That was quite something. Why did it... I mean, it's a biochemical weapon, right? So there has to be some DNA like left over from its original project, I guess? But holy shit! That looked really like... What the fuck? So the interesting part is that I actually, when I first saw the intro cutscene in the trailer, I actually commented on how it was, like, this boss arena was actually pretty... It looked pretty barren in the trailer. But now that I look at it, first of all, it's quite detailed, even for a boss arena that's, you know, this dark, basically. And only like destroyed rubble laying around. It's actually quite detailed for that. That's pretty cool. And then obviously the transition with Dalamud falling and everything in the vicinity glowing, that looked incredible. Really incredible. So no wonder that the you know, it makes the transition even more powerful aesthetically, because obviously you start off in this very barren wasteland, and then it suddenly becomes this burning war zone. Not really war zone, but burning doomsday almost, right? That was... holy shit. And by the way, what was that? How was it able... Was it just an illusion? Because remember, like the original T9 fight against Nael takes place, I think, in like a facility that can, like an Alagan, basically war planning facility of some sort, and they used like projection technology to basically to plan their attack on their enemies, right? And that same projection technology was then used in the fight against Nael, us against Nael, right? But here, maybe either they included some sort of that projection technology into the Ruby weapon, but I guess it was more of... I mean, they talked about it having absorbed primals, but maybe they didn't absorb primals. Maybe they somehow went back to Dalamud, basically, and to the remnants of it, and they maybe extracted the ether out of that, so that the Ruby weapon basically I'm always repeating the word basically. I'm sorry, I need to stop that, but I think that it probably absorbed some of Nael's ether somehow. So maybe it wasn't so much a projection of Dalamut, but rather an ethereal manipulation. That was actually scary looking. And the thing, the Nael thing that came out of its back, she looked damn creepy. Holy shit. So that was something. Holy shit, did that look cool. I didn't expect that. I honestly didn't expect that to happen. Even from afar, your figure was unmistakable. As ever, an impressive display. Though, as I'm sure you will concur, the Ultima weapon pales in comparison to this new monstrosity. If their research is allowed to continue, the next model will be nigh on unstoppable. With that in mind, the Alliance has enlisted the help of... Wait, I hear something. What? Here to sift through what remains of the ruby weapon, are you? Wait, do we know her? Allie, what do you think you're doing? Allie? Who are they? Father? Alright, wait, what? What? Seriously? We just fought like an incarnation of Nael, bringing down Dalamut upon us, and now you're telling me he's like a son of Gaius? It has been too long, Alphonse, and you too, Rex. But they are what? Given that the Empire is proceeding with a weapon project and making inroads into Eorzea, I suppose it was only a matter of time until our paths crossed. It's wonderful to see you again, Father, although I can't say I think much of the company you've been keeping. I know a lot's happened, but I'm just glad you're alright, and now you can come back to Garlemald with us. So these are his children, yeah? My days serving the Empire are over. Because you're suspected of assassinating Emperor Varus. But we know you'd never do a thing like that. There must be a way to prove your innocence. Then everything can go back to the way it was. Well, that'll probably never happen. Oh. We're taking a look into Gaius's past. So he found you two shivering on the roadside when he was going through Whirlit. Luck for you, eh? So these are adopted children then. Wait, Gaius did adopt children? How does that work? Was like, if you're like a high imperial soldier with a high rank, like, if he hadn't, we'd probably be dead by now. There are even more of them. Not only those three. As for us three, our parents all died in the epidemic. We'd still be begging on street corners if it weren't for him. I just wish there was a way we could repay Lord Gaius for all the kindness he's shown us. He fights for the Empire, so we should too. That'll make him proud of us. You're saying we should join the army? I don't think that's such a good idea. Everyone in Werlet was scared of the Garleans. Why would we want to be like them? Lord Gaius is different. I know he is. You're right. He always says that the strong should lead the weak. Maybe that's why he took us in. So this is an unexpected turn of events, to say the least. Alright, if becoming a soldier is what it takes, I'll do it. Who's with me? Count me in, and maybe one day people will look up to us like we do Lord Gaius. Then it's settled. From now on, we're all brothers and sisters, fighting for the same cause. Brothers and sisters? Then that would make Lord Gaius our father. Well, if he doesn't mind us calling him that, I suppose so. And that makes you our big brother, since you're the oldest. You'd better be nice to us, or I'm telling father. Well, they are quite cheerful for just having lost their home, probably. I mean, maybe that scene maybe took place like a couple months or a year after it, I guess. What? Father, since you went away, a lot has changed in the Empire. For us too. If we'd known that you were still out there, still alive, none of this would have happened. I mean, if you think back to how Fordola was treated, basically, right? Even though she was a very even important member of their military, she was still, you know, like an outcast and not very highly regarded by her even subordinates, right? So you kind of have to imagine that they were maybe only treated well because of Gaius's protection, and without him, or with him gone, they probably faced a lot of struggles in the Empire, I'd assume. What do you mean? The truth is, is that their ship? So they're just leaving? What? If you must go, I will not stop you, but answer me this. Who is piloting the ruby weapon? We all know that Niall Vandanis has not returned from the dead. Who do you think? It was Melisandre. So that was one of them, apparently. No. No, I refuse to believe that. So we are basically fighting his foster children? That's It's a dark twist. What the fuck? I refuse to believe you would let that happen. She was a sister to you. To all of you. We only want to finish what you started. While we will never forget all you have done for us, the next time we meet shall be as enemies. Goodbye, Father. What the fuck? As for you, hero of Eorzea, you'll pay for what you did to Melisandre. I swear it. Wouldn't it be, like... I mean, of course, we probably wouldn't want to kill them, but... What the fuck is this storyline? First, like, some sort of weird, creepy Nael comes out of the ruby weapon, and after that, we find out it's actually been it's been one of Gaius' foster children? What the fuck is happening in this patch, man? Gaius wasn't exaggerating when he spoke of your prowess in battle. Unfortunately, it seems a fair few problems remain, and unlike the ruby weapon, it might take more than brute force to solve them. After Gaius and I faced the ruby weapon, I thought it to be all but indestructible. I'm glad to be proven wrong on this occasion. Are we going to talk about the weird Nael thing at all? I mean, he mentioned it, but... how did they achieve that, anyway? Sid? Well, well. Gaius von Belza. We meet again. Wait, what? They did meet, though, right? In the 4.4 story, whatever it was? Come to see how your precious weapon project has been proceeding in our absence, have you? You are come to collect data on the ruby weapon, correct? The pilot, Melisandre, should still be inside the cockpit. I will ask Valdolin to escort you to the wreckage. Any idea who this Melisandre is? An imperial crony of his, perhaps? Well, not really. Is she still inside, though? Because it looked like the ruby weapon or whatever it was, like whatever biochemical things were inside that thing, that it completely, like, overtook the pilot. So would the body still be inside, even? One of the orphans. So he knows about them? Gaius always did have an eye for talent and a mind to nurture it. In fact, Livius Junius was another protege of his. He even took me under his wing when my father became obsessed with the meteor project. It's strange that I felt closer to Gaius than my own flesh and blood. Then my father and countless others lost their lives in the Boja incident. Oh, they're mentioning that. Although he was acting under Emperor Solus's orders, he masterminded the whole thing. I begged him to reconsider, to put an end to this madness, but my words fell on deaf ears. That's when I turned to Gaius for support, but he was as much a pawn of the Emperor as my father, that I refused to intervene. And when my turn came to serve, I defected and fled to Eorzea. I blamed Gaius as much as any of them, perhaps even more, for the barbaric acts carried out in the name of conquest. But when we met at the Praetorium, all the hatred that had been festering inside me seemed to fade away, and I remembered the man I once respected. To think the dreaded Black Wolf was a mere plaything of the Asians, who left him broken and disgraced, having sent thousands of his men to early graves. And it's more than most could bear. And now the lives of the children he raised hang in the balance. Any personal grievances I have with Gaius can wait. I'd best gather what information I can on the ruby weapon, but I'll be back as soon as possible. That story, man. Holy shit. And I was, yesterday I was also talking about the side quests getting more and more involved with the main story, right? Almost all of the side quests, even job quests, they truly feel like part of the main story now. Like we're just, like all of the side quests are just an additional puzzle piece or background story to the main story, rather than being something completely separate. So it's this is really something. Really don't know what to make of it. I just didn't expect it to be this. If the cockpit remained intact, we may be able to glean information from the pilot. Did it though? If Sid is as I remember him, it will not take long for him to finish investigating the remains of the ruby weapon. He never was one to waste time. It's true, I guess. My engineers are still in the field, but there's something I thought you should know right away. It's about the pilot. I'm not sure how to tell you this, but if Melisandre is dead, I only hope she was not made to suffer. Death would have been a kindness. In all my years, I've never seen such a perversion of science and nature. I mean, we saw it during the fight, right? Her body was fused with the ruby weapon's core. Those last moments must have been spent in pure agony as her very life's essence was drained from her. So she was sacrificed to power that infernal machine. We must act quickly if we are to prevent the Empire from committing further atrocities. Marcus, if there is any other information you can share with us regarding the ruby weapon prior to its deactivation. Niall van Darnus. Did the legatus mean that much to Melisandre? From what I gather, it sounds as if data based on Niall's combat capabilities was used to override the pilot's consciousness after she was fused with the core. If this technology is perfected, and the Empire begins implanting the memories of renowned warriors, such as the White Raven, into its soldiers, the Alliance won't stand a chance. And remember, they have, at least in one case, successfully given a person some kind of echo of powers, making Xenos almost like an Asian, right? So while that probably also has to do with, you know, very long experiments done to Xenos, they still technically have the technology. I mean, it was partly done in Alamigo, if I remember correctly, so we did technically conquer some of those facilities, right, and made them unusable for the Empire, but there's still probably information about that left in Garlemald. And something like this, and this technology, being accessible to them, yeah, that is a pretty great thread. Such a thing even possible? A similar method of transference was used on the prototype Estinian fort, was it not? Yeah, that was... They partly seem to have fused someone into the prototype we fought with Estinian, right? Is it though how soul crystals work? I mean, you don't really fuse with them, right? Because you can still just give them to someone else? So I'm not really sure about this first line, to be honest. Your friend did mention he overheard the Signiferi loading various sets of data into the test model during the battle. It would appear that the system has been improved since then. Well, yeah, improved. I would call that a bit more than just improved, but... Well, while it may bear some similarities, we won't know for certain until we've analyzed the wreckage of the Ruby weapon. It cannot be denied that combining combat data from an experienced soldier with the powers of an icon has yielded remarkable results. But in doing so, the Empire has sunk to the very depth of depravity. This is beyond forgiveness. What was the icon, though? Is he talking about Dalamud? Bahamut? For once I agree with you, yet one question remains unanswered. How were they able to obtain data on someone who was supposedly killed prior to the calamity? That's what I'm trying to determine. There's one possibility I'd like to explore, but I'll need to carry out a more thorough investigation first. Severa will provide support while you are in the field. Severa? Still don't really know how her name is pronounced. Not only is she extremely well versed in the latest in Garlean technology, there are a few soldiers I would rather have watching my back. In the meantime, Voldolin and I will follow the ruby weapon's tracks back to its point of origin. We will learn what we can of the weapon project and the manner in which Alphonse and the others are involved. Should we uncover anything of value, we will relay it to the troops stationed here. For now, I suggest you use this lull in Garlean activity to recuperate. Would I be correct in guessing that this belated reunion with those darling orphans of yours has stirred up memories of your time in Garlemald? Remember our agreement, Gaius. If you so much as think of returning to your Imperial masters, I will kill you. That's an interesting turn of events. Who are they then? Where did he meet those two? Anyway, we don't know that, right? Where they came from? Well, this was certainly something. see. The Imperials have not gained any ground since our last battle, but neither have we. I fear the stalemate can only continue for so long. I mean... This is... I still don't really know what to say to that. Wait, War Machina Fanatic? What are you doing here? Did you see that weapon? Ah, of course you did. How silly of me. What I wouldn't give for the secrets of that armor plating. Oh, wait, he's probably the guy where we can unlock the extreme version? So, you put down the ruby weapon. Gods, I wish I could have seen it. Not from too close, mind. I suppose I should report news of your victory to the higher-ups. I realize you must have been through quite the ordeal, but could you give me a quick summary of the battle? You make it sound so easy. From the way you tell it, anyone would think you slay hulking brutes like that for a living. Wait, you don't know who I am? I'll put all of this into a report and leave a copy over there, should you fancy a bit of light reading. Anyway, I expect you've got more pressing matters to take care of, like going for a celebratory pint. Yeah. If the Guardians pluck up the courage to come knocking again, we'll let you know. Until then, rest up. So the quest is probably going to continue here then. At some point. Holy sh... what the fuck did they do with these weapons? Meanwhile, in the World Magitech installation. Because, I mean, it is true, the Ultima weapon was nothing against this monstrosity. Wait, how many children were there? 6, right? So this is all of them? We should have told him the truth. He'd be able to help us, and know he would. That's exactly the problem, Ellie. If he knew the true nature of the weapon project, he'd find some way to interfere. We've come too far to back down now. I won't let Melisandre's death be in vain. Even if that means going against Father's wishes. Cheer up, Alphonse. We can all go back to being one big happy family after we've dealt with those pesky Eorzeans. It'll be just like old times. But except that one of you is dead now. Because of you. Because you insist on fighting. If only it were that simple. There's no guarantee any of us will make it back alive. Excuse me? I think you're forgetting whose turn it is next. O ye of little faith. With me at the helm of the sapphire weapon, it'll be over before you know it. Or, you know, you will die too? Whatever happens, Rex, promise you'll come back to us. I couldn't bear to lose you too. A sapphire weapon. And I mean, I think we can be pretty sure that the next weapon will have some kind of infused combat data as well, right? Although, I suspect they wouldn't really use a primal's data like Bahamut's. That's not how they operate, right? But it's still one thing that was kind of weird. Because Nail's form, with the wings and all, that you fight during the Coil of Bahamut, that's because Nail sort of succumbs to the primal Bahamut's what do you call that? To like she basically becomes a follower of Bahamut, right? So she gets sort of entranced by him, I guess. And that's why because we're fighting in the core of Dalamut, she's able to draw upon the ether, basically, of Bahamut, right? And that changes her appearance to be dragon-like. So what kind of combat data were they infusing into the ruby weapon if her appearance there also had wings? That's what I'm wondering about. Or maybe they also infused it with some sort of primal power. I mean, again, well, the Ultima weapon did technically... It was infused with Garuda, Ifrit, and Titan, right? So it was able to carry out attacks that the primals would have been able to summon. So the ruby weapon like this seems to be... I mean, well, it technically didn't do any dragon attacks, did it? It summoned Dalamut. However that was possible. I still don't know how that was even... How does that work? I mean, the imagery was spectacular during the fight, right? It was really, really cool. But at the same time, how does that work? How... Is it some kind of ethereal manipulation of the surroundings? Just basically a small primal summon, but instead of summoning Bahamut, it's summoned the moon Dalamut multiple times? Is that how it works? But then again, why did Nail have wings? I mean, if they got her data out of whatever they found in the digging sites surrounding Dalamut, and they used that combat data, it would have included Nael's obsession with Bahamut, right? So maybe they did that unintentionally? But it does, I mean, it does just make me wonder what kind of thing will a Sapphire weapon be, and what will it entail or have infused in it. I mean, I guess we'll know in the next patch, but holy shit. This was far more like the what's the word? Such a... There's so many questions that this leaves open, right? So many things that we should be investigating about how they did this weapon project and what it entailed and how they were able to accomplish it in the first place. But this pile of papers appears to be a collection of reports written by members of the Resistance. Let's see what it says. Named Gaius Belsa, pure-blooded Garlean and former legatus of the 14th Legion. During his time in the Empire, he was credited with the conquest of 5 cities, extremely dangerous, though currently aligned against Garlemald. Assumed dead following the Battle of Castra Meridianum, he survived and made the elimination of Ascians his primary objective, operating under the name Shadow Hunter. The Ultima weapon project he once helmed has since been taken over by the 7th Legion, prompting him to cooperate with the Eorzean Alliance in preventing new weapons from being developed and deployed. He has provided invaluable information on the Ruby weapon, though it has recently come to light that the pilot was an orphan once under his care. There is a possibility that he may betray us and return to the Empire, so he must be monitored closely. And this just lies around here with some random resistance officer. That's interesting. It's a very short explanation though, right? It touches on everything that happened, but still leaves open quite a few things. War Machina developed by the 7th Imperial Legion is a successor to the Ultima weapon. Our sources indicate that, like the original, it is able to absorb the ether of primals, which may be the cause of the vastly different appearance and combat capabilities. It possesses extremely dense armor and flexible claw-like weapons. Shortly after its deployment in the Gimlet Dark, a team led by the Warrior of Light intercepted it and rendered it inoperable. Garland Ironworks are currently investigating the wreckage. Still, like, what did they infuse into it? If it's able to absorb primals, would they infuse Bahamut into it? Does Nael count as a primal because she was some sort of well, because she was controlled by Bahamut for a time? And what other primals are there? I mean, the Ruby weapon didn't really summon any primals, did it, right? So, what's going on? Melisandre, pilot of the Ruby weapon. All other information regarding the subject was gained via verbal testimony of Gaius Belsa and must therefore be considered potentially unreliable. Her parents were killed when their homeland in the imperial territory of Werland was struck by an epidemic. She was later taken into the care of Gaius Belsa with several other orphans. She was despotent and introverted at first, but through the guidance of Alphonse, the eldest of the orphans, she grew to become more assertive and self-assured. Little is known of how she came to pilot the Ruby weapon. According to Gaius, her emotional attachment to Alphonse may have been what compelled her to participate in this dangerous mission. The report delivered by Sid Garland following the preliminary examination of the Ruby weapon's remains states that Melisandre's body was fused with its core with no vital signs detected. Estimated age at time of death, 30 years old. That's quite old, actually. Come to think of it, right? So she was already 25 when the original Dalamud project was executed, basically. Huh. I would have thought that they might have been younger. Then again, that wouldn't... I mean, because now they're technically... sort of leading one of the legions of the Garlean Empire, so I mean it makes sense that they're older. You might find it odd that a citizen of Eorzea would be so excited by something sent by the Garleans to slaughter us in our thousands, but as an avid follower of all things gigantic and mechanical, I just can't help myself. Oh, to be able to pilot such a majestic creation. Perhaps I should defect to the Empire and offer my services. Ever since the time of the original Ultima weapon, I have fallen in love with the fusion of Allagan and Garlean design. It takes my breath away. So much so that I used my spare moments at the Ironworks to develop a line of miniatures. And now, your recently vanquished foe shall be the inspiration for my next endeavor. Would you do me the honor of casting your gaze across the piece once it is complete? That's what it is. Don't blame me if I smash it into smithereens. Huh? Did you say something? Whatever it was, I'm sure you were offering heartfelt words of encouragement. Yeah, of course I was. It's the support of fans such as yourself that make this such a worthwhile hobby. I'm not a fan, you dimwit. What the What is he going on about? I'm proud to say my work adorns the homes of many like-minded Machina lovers. The Ultima weapon and Magitech Reaper miniatures, to name but two of my creations, are especially popular. Of course, I wouldn't be much of an engineer if I only made inanimate ornaments. Behold! I have restored this Alagan relic, added a few flourishes of my own, and dubbed it the Real Virtual Combat Simulation Experiencinator. God. RVCSE. Well then. By feeding it various pieces of data, such as images of my replicas and so on, it is able to recreate a range of combat scenarios, for research purposes of course, not entertainment, oh no. You can see you're practically champing at a bit to give it a try. There's no stopping you intrepid adventurer types. It won't be long until my latest work is complete. All that remains are 1 or 2 final adjustments, so don't go anywhere. What? Of late, all I can think about is weapons, weapons, weapons. I channel this passion into crafting homages of my favorite war machina, which is more than a mere hobby. It's the wind in my sails. The ruby weapon, a fine choice. Please, allow me a moment to prepare. They always find new and weird ways of unlocking savage modes. Feast your eyes on the likeness of the Crimson Conqueror, the Vermilion Villain, the Scarlet Scoundrel, the one and only ruby weapon. That's, by the way, that's the thing you can build, right? Craft? As I'm sure you remember, its most prominent characteristics were its impregnable armor plating, adroitly depicted here, and its long flexible claws, which are, well, you'll just have to imagine those for now. The head and arched neck are somewhat reminiscent of a ravenous void send, which may be the result of having absorbed a primal, possibly even one summoned by those resisting the Empire. In that sense, could even be considered an ally of sorts. That's an interesting take on the matter. Guess he's blabbering on about it. Ah, there I go, getting carried away as usual. I can tell you've absorbed about as much information as you can handle for now, so why don't we fire out the Real Virtuality Combat Simulation Experiencinator? That's the name. You'd best brace yourself, because even I don't know what's going to happen. Okay. Cinderdrift Extreme now accessible. The music's really great. The totems earned in the source of Verlet can be exchanged for gear and other items by speaking with Sintana in Revenant's Fall. Why is that in Revenant's Hall, by the way? Why isn't that here? Like, why put it in all kinds of places rather than having it all in one place? I mean, well, I do like that they include like older locations in these quests, because that it just makes the whole game world more lively, right? If you have to go back from time to time. Wait, that's not the ruby weapon though. No. Storage card. So that's probably here. Yeah, Cinderdrift Extreme. Garland Ironworks attracts a fair number of mechanically minded lunatics. He even goes so far as to offer some of them employment. One in particular has taken it upon himself to craft likenesses of Garlean war machina, including that of the recently defeated ruby weapon. A restored elegant device uses it as a basis to project images of a foe far more ferocious than the one you had previously laid low, and your mind is filled with visions of what might have been. For 70, let's quickly just, I mean, I'm not going to do it now, I want to do the main story first. Cinderdrift P2, Meteor Practice, Skill Group, Practice, Farming. Wait, Fulmination is the second one, right? Or not? Wait, what am I doing? I don't remember the names. No, it's the first one. Hero is the second one. Alright. Interesting. Oh, by the way, I totally forgot about the fact that you were able to extract materia from gear, so I should probably take a look at that. Well then, yeah. I'm gonna take on the extreme version. I mean, maybe this evening. I don't know. It's probably gonna take a while. Well, whatever. Let's continue on with the main story, I think. Back to the ocular we go. Well, this has been... I'm still really... just... I don't know, that story is far more intricate than what I was expecting. I mean, it was... Well, I don't really know what I was expecting out of the story of that, to be honest. Maybe a more simple thing? Now it's been... definitely been more complicated than I expected it to be. More layered, I guess. Well, let's take a look at the summoning bell. I haven't sold anything, but let's just quickly complete these ventures. Probably don't need any more pepper, but let's just get it anyway. And now finally, we're able to continue on with the main story. Oh, let's go this way. I always like to just, you know, go through these places rather than using the Ethernet shards. Because you aren't here very often, right? It's just really interesting to go back to these places and look at them. So I guess one of the story quests will be there. This is always kind of a funny sight, isn't it? There's this huge place in front of the Crystal Tower, and then on one particular spot everybody's standing and watching a cutscene. Yeah. These stairs, man. Hey there. Into the ocular. Graha! I like this music. God, the music is so great. I always like this, especially in the Shadowbringers, like in the main story. This was always really calming, right? There was so much happening during the story, and so many things, so many questions, and always if you come back to this place, it's just... it's incredible to look at, and at the same time it's also calming, but very important to the story as well. A lot has been happening here, a lot of conversations. You've come at a most opportune time, my friend. I've made something of a breakthrough in my research on the soul, and a means to return the Scions home. I trust you too have been making good use of your time. You could say that, yeah. Ill tidings from the source, you say. Then I will summon the others, that we might all be apprised of the situation. Apprised. Did I say apprised? There they are. Why is this Numo so big, by the way? He looks way bigger than the other Numo. I feel like.
Now that we are all here, what news from the source? A new Ultima weapon. We must count ourselves lucky that Gaius has pledged his assistance.
I mean, we already defeated it.
While this is indeed a worrying development, I think the state of the Empire as a whole greater grounds for concern. With the Emperor slain and Xenos returned, it is impossible to predict how matters will unfold in Garlemald. The Ultima weapon may be but the first of many unpleasant surprises.
The situation beareth closer observation, of that there is no doubt, and doth compound our need to return unto the source.
Then let us address that issue. Our long search for a means to see you safely home may well be nearing its conclusion. Thanks in large part to Urianger and Beklug's invaluable insight, we have succeeded in fashioning a vessel for the journey.
Right, they were researching crystals.
We set out to create a crystalline container retaining the more useful properties of white aurosite, but without its regrettable limitations. And after a good deal of trial and error, we made one. An ark for soul and mind both, that will allow your incorporeal self in its entirety to be ferried between worlds. A spirit vessel, if you will.
Sounds great.
However...
Of course, there's a drawback.
However?
Though the vessel is possessed of the requisite qualities to hold mind and memory, it wanteth yet for a means to receive of them. For that, we must needs imbue it with the Exarch's innate gift.
His gift?
A gift that lives on only through the blood of the Allagan Emperors.
Oh.
Which certainly does not flow within aurosite or any other crystal.
The blood.
Just so, milady. The blood serveth as a conduit of sorts. In its absence, memory cannot pass from mind unto mind, nor from flesh unto crystal.
That being the case, we must either alter the process of inheritance so as to require no such thing, or determine a means by which my blood may permeate the vessel. I am hopeful that the records found within this tower will yield the knowledge we require to pursue one or the other of these avenues.
As well you should be. The Allagan's body of etherological research is extraordinary. I can scarce believe it the work of ages past. But its underlying principles are not so very different from those of my own field of study. Given time, we will find the answers we seek.
Well, that does sound very hopeful.
I know that you can ill afford to wait, and it pains me that I must ask you to do so. I can only reaffirm my promise to you that a solution will be found.
I mean, we've come quite far, to be honest. Didn't expect them to have a crystal ready at this point.
Whatever it takes, I will see you safely home.
My apologies.
I do hope you haven't come to tell us that mortal peril fast approaches.
No. I had hoped to speak with the Warrior of Darkness.
With me?
But there is no need to cut short your meeting on my account. I will be waiting outside.
Well, that was,
Why not speak in here? She knows I don't mind. Unless she didn't want to.
yeah, that was strange.
Perhaps I might accompany you. Though I am woefully ill-qualified to assist in the Exarch's research, I may yet be of some use to Lena.
Oh. Rare roast beef, the finest quality dough, seared lightly to add a note of smokiness to the still bleeding meat's naturally savory flavor, and topped with a drizzle of salty au jus. It sounds pretty good. Creamy salmon pasta, filling homemade pasta topped with tender, flaky salmon and fresh spinach, all smothered in a rich, creamy sauce. Like, the food they have here. Why are we eating salad again all the time? Because that's the raid food that I used in Ultimate, right? And in, well, from the last Savage, basically. These sound way more, way better than the salad, to be honest. King salmon manure, a fillet of soft, delicate salmon, coated in flour and fried in rich butter, comprises the simple yet indulgent dish. Well, I'll still take the money. Because you can never actually use the food. You know, I craft the food that I use myself anyway, and yeah, that's it basically. Wait, I wanted to check something though. Because I do feel like the... Wait, wouldn't... Is it... All of the sounds are at 100%, but it's... should probably adjust that at some point. The voices are kind of low, unfortunately, but... it's fine. To think we will not only have Xenos to contend with once we return, but a new Ultima weapon as well? Why must all of our enemies insist on returning from their graves? Yeah, that is peculiar. Upon White's Aurosite's crystalline foundation, we have built not a prison, but a refuge for the soul. Would that Moon Breeder were here to see the wonders inspired by her research. Aww. He's thinking of her. Never have I seen such a repository of knowledge, a stark reminder what little we truly know of the world. Yeah, I would like to go through all the records in the Crystal Tower as well myself, at some point. Maybe simply my imagination, but Lena has been rather brusque with me of late. You don't suppose she's still upset over the mishap with the salmon fillet? What? What did you do, Gra? I must confess, while I enjoy my fair share of scholarly research, it will be good to step outside for a spot of fresh air. Now then, shall we go and speak with Lena? Wait, where was Alphino waiting the whole time, anyway? Wasn't he outside somewhere? I don't really remember where Alphino was. Right, he was in Yulmore, right? Wasn't he standing next to the Chais? I think. After patch 5.1, he was just standing around Yulmore. I'm pretty sure. We have little time, so I will be brief. A Sin Eater has been sighted on Lakeland, and I ask for your assistance in slaying it. Sin Eater? I had heard some few yet remained after the knight had returned, but perhaps we should call the others. That will not be necessary. It is only a single Sin Eater, a simple task for our guard, I should think. That said, I believe fighting alongside the Warrior of Darkness would be a valuable experience for them. Peace can lead to complacency, and they gain nothing from an easy victory. But you do not underestimate your foes, however harmless they may seem. My men would do well to learn from your example. Let's be about it then. Excellent. Then let us make for Fort Job. Oh, one of my friends is playing through the main story as well, it seems. Because they're hardcore raiding later, I think. The rest of the day. So it's a good time to do it now. The story, I mean. For Job. Let's go there then. The Sin Eaters that remain no longer have a leader to guide them, but they are no less dangerous. They cannot be suffered to live. If you would wait here a moment, I will gather the others. All right. You may not remember, but you have met these soldiers once before, though only in passing. Long have they awaited the opportunity to fight at your side. I was at death's door that day after the Sin Eaters attacked. If you and yours hadn't come along, I'd have likely stepped through. They wouldn't have been alone. Your courage and selflessness is something we all aspire to. I too was there that terrible day. My friend was transformed into a Sin Eater before my very eyes, and I had no choice but to cut her down. The thought of returning to the field, of holding a blade again, filled me with dread. But that is no way to honor her or my comrades, and so I have returned. I swear I will not let you or anyone else down from this day forward. Pleasure to meet you, sir, truly. It seems like only yesterday I watched as you took flight astride an Amaro to go and save the Oracle. Strange to think the Yulmoran soldiers who once locked blades with are now on our side, but we'll do our utmost to keep the peace here in Lakeland. We seem to be missing one. You look oddly familiar. My apologies, Captain Lena. An elderly gentleman asked that I escort him to Clearmelt. It took longer than I anticipated. I'll not begrudge your desire to help those in need, but a soldier must be punctual, especially when we play host to honored guests. It won't happen again. The name's Thaler. Thaler? Yeah. I'm sure you don't remember, but we met once before in the infirmary. Oh. I asked you to deliver a message to the Exarch and the Warrior of Darkness. Little did I know I was already talking to him. Don't give up. Don't give in. I keep those words close to my heart, and the boundless beautiful skies above serve as a reminder of their importance. My friend got to see the knight's return shortly before he passed. He left this world with a smile, satisfied with a glimpse of what was to come. But there are countless others who weren't so fortunate. They gave their lives for the promise of a future they'll never know. And so it falls to us to do everything we can to fulfill that promise. No matter what happens, we won't give up. We won't give in. Huh. That's really cool. Your heroism has inspired all of our guardsmen in much the same manner. Our scouts at the northern staging point have not had the pleasure of meeting you in person. Let us not keep them waiting. Northern staging point, that is here somewhere. Oh, that's where the Dragon Fate. Didn't remember that it was called the Northern Staging Point. There's a Fate spawning here sometimes. Oh. Is that a... Wait, what? Did they already kill it? What the hell is that?
Did you slay this eater? Your orders were to await the main force before engaging.
No, Captain. It wasn't us, I swear it. A man came out of nowhere and cut it down before we knew what was happening.
Oh.
By himself? Certainly it is no light warden, but nevertheless.
Why do I have a feeling that I know who that was?
It's true. Felled it with a single swing of his axe, he did. I've never seen anything like it. So I says to him, "Who are you, the warrior of bleeding darkness?" And he says, "No, I'm a warrior of light." And that was it. Buggered off as quick as he came.
A warrior of light? Why would someone go around calling himself that, though? It was those bastards who caused the flood. I mean, if you were going to pretend to be anyone, it'd be him, the warrior of darkness.
Hey? Oh, I didn't know. It's an honor.
Why do they never know? I mean, I guess, well, it's not like there are smartphones and videos of the Warrior of Darkness going around, right? So people would have heard of me, but not really know how I look like, I guess. Oh shit. Oh, I thought the ether was maybe...
Since the Eater is no longer a threat, our work here is done. Return to your posts.
I had hoped to fight at your side today, but I'll continue to follow your example, and may we meet again.
I apologize for the wasted journey. It seems I overestimated the threat. As for this Warrior of Light, I do not know who would be brazen enough to take that mantle for his own. Whatever it may once have meant, it is forever tainted by the association with the Flood. The Exarch told me the truth of Ardbert and his comrades' deeds, and I am aware they played some part in your own triumph. But to most, they are synonymous with the calamity that befell this world.
Yeah.
Still, if this man is minded to destroy Sin Eaters, I may forgive him his unfortunate choice of alias.
Why did he slay it, though? If that is... I mean, we still don't really know if it's Ardbert or some weird
But that is neither here
reincarnation
nor
phase.
there. I thank you for accompanying me.
With that concluded, shall we return to the Crystarium? There is a proposal I should like to make.
Forgive me. There is one more thing. A personal concern of mine. I had hoped you might have a moment to speak privately.
Oh.
Take your time. I shall go on ahead.
That I didn't really expect.
I will not mince words. This matter concerns the Exarch. Though his countenance belies his age, his demeanor never has. He has seen more than any man should and grown ever more weary with time. But I see I give the wrong impression. While it is true he attempted to open a letter with a salmon fillet the other evening, we are not here because I suspect his mind is deteriorating.
What?
Nor do I believe him to be so maddeningly unconcerned by the prospect of his own death as he once was. Indeed, the opposite is true. It is for this reason that I seek your advice. Since he returned from the Tempest, the Exarch is not as he was.
Well, by the looks of it, it's not.
He seems a different man. A younger man.
No.
I know not the details of his research, but when I saw him at work recently, there was a glint in his eye that I had never seen before. He looked happy.
Well, that's a good thing, surely.
It was as if he had peered into the future and for the first time found joy there. Though it gladdens me to see him thus, I wonder if I should not keep my distance. I fear that my presence will only anchor him to the past. Remind him of all the pain that came before.
That truly isn't true. I mean, you're not a symbol of the past. You're the captain of the guard, not, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that he's lost without her, but let's go with the first one. Anchors keep us where we have chosen to be.
Is that so? Then perhaps we might remain as we were. As we have always been. What a relief. In that case, I will have to speak with him about the amount of time he is spending at work.
What?
This research is important, I know, but if he refuses to consider his own health, I will have to consider it for him.
Yeah, you do that. It's probably a good idea, to be honest. That was an interesting conversation, one, again, that I did not really expect. Facing the truth. I will not keep you. You and your comrades have much to discuss. I will see the others back to their posts. Let me just quickly, I don't really need it now, but I will just forget it later anyway, so let's just quickly turn these on. Wait, this one? And then this one probably, because if I'll do ruby weapon, that might come in handy. Speak with Alphino. Guess he's in the Crystarium. So he's back at... Wait, where is he? Oh, in the ocular, apparently. Do you have business with the Crystal Exarch? Just say the word. I would be happy to escort you to the ocular. You do that. Anything new? I mean, we weren't away all that long. An adventurer calling themselves a warrior of light. Why would anyone tie themselves to the legacy of individuals held in such low regard in the first? That is indeed strange, because it also, I mean, maybe he's counting on people telling us so that we may pursue him? Warriors of light, harbingers in the flood and all the world's woes. That this wanderer would so boldly claim their title is most curious indeed. Indeed it is. 'Tis strange to think how heroes so beloved by the people could be brought so low in so short a time. Alphino tells me a warrior of light has slain the Sin Eater. Quite frankly, I'm not sure what to make of this. Ah yes, I was hoping to speak with you about our... On second thought, never mind. It would be rude of me to pry. Does he want to... Is there a thing going on between him and Lena? I mean, I don't want to... I don't really want to, you know, look too much into that, but they definitely have a very interesting relationship going on. I mean, maybe it's more like father and daughter, I guess. Because, I mean, the Crystal Exarch, like, Lena would have been raised by him, basically, right? As a kid, she would have known him as a, maybe, like a father figure of sorts. Because Grahatia obviously isn't aging. Or not really aging. The others were quite shocked to hear what we found in Lakeland. But now that you're here, there is a proposal I should like to make. I've been spending a great deal of time in the Cabinet of Curiosity, and of late I've noted more and more people perusing books on history, the years leading up to the Flood in particular. I suspect they wish to know more about the Warriors of Light, as well they should, but nearly everything I've come across describes them as Sin Eaters or worse. I mean, that's what they eventually became, right? Regardless of whether or not this Warrior of Light is who they claim to be, I worry that their sudden appearance in conjunction with this renewed interest in their predecessors may lead to growing unrest and fear. If the people of the Crystarium seek the truth, I say we give it to them. I too can attest to the falsehood found within full many of the Cabinet's tomes, with nary a mention of the noble deeds of Ardbert and his comrades. To be fair, they bear some responsibility for the Flood, but when the tale is told again and again over the course of a century, I'm not surprised to see their roles distorted and them painted as villains. Were it not for the records stored within the Crystal Tower, I would have had no reason to question the narrative. Unfortunately, that knowledge was of no use, for when I arrived here in the first, Their reputation had already been irreparably tarnished. That said, there still remained those who worked tirelessly to defend their good name in those early days following the flood. Considering all the good they had done, I find it a wonder they needed defending at all. I mean, unfortunately, even in our world, people quickly forget about things like that. They brought to justice the man who misused my knowledge to bring about the fall of the bird. That such heroes could be spoken of in the same breath as sin-eaters is absurd. Under normal circumstances I would agree, but as time passed, those who knew first-hand of their deeds dwindled. In the end, only one truth remained, that they were the cause of the flood. I mean, you do have to remember that before the flood happened, this was a whole world, right? I mean, just think about how small of a, of the world in the first actually remains. The rest of the planet is consumed by light. It's this dead matter, right? So the people, especially since a lot of people died. I mean, you just think about it. Well, at least probably 80% of people in this world died. So they would, I'm not really surprised that not many people were actually left who could tell tales about what the Warriors of Light actually did. With the world on the brink of oblivion, it was all too easy for the Warriors of Light to become villains, deserving only of resentment and hate. At that point, the truth mattered little. You would not change that a lot. Thanks to all of you, however, the lot has changed, and now they may heed the long-forgotten truth. You claimed it was Artbird who helped you overcome Emet-Selch, correct? Such a revelation would do well to sway the hearts of those who know him only as a villain. I mean, well, most people don't know Emet-Selch, though, right? I have shared this with a select few, but one and all must be told of this sacrifice. To that end, I say we proceed with Alphinaud's plan. We call together the people of the Crystarium and recount to them the true tale of the Warriors of Light, the flood that followed in their wake. Well, what say you? I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily against an idea like that. But then again, I don't know if it's really necessary at this point, or if it's really changing anything. I mean, of course it's important to, to keep history as honest as possible, I think. Because you can learn from it, or you should learn from your history, right? So that if you keep it as honest as possible and as true to what happened as possible, then it's much likelier that you won't repeat mistakes that have been done in the past, right? And if you rewrite history so that those mistakes are blamed on someone else basically, it's very likely. And we've seen that, in real life, we see that time and time again, that people just refuse to learn from history simply because they, believe in some other history or some perverted version of it, rather than the actual truth, and facing that truth and coming to terms with the fact that you should, learn from it and just be honest that maybe your ancestors or maybe the thing that you would like to happen isn't maybe the most ideal thing, I guess. Well, we don't really get an option here. I mean, I knew we wouldn't, but yeah. I don't wish that we had done this sooner, to be honest. But if it has to be, then let's do it, I guess. Then we're all of one mind on the matter. Good. Exarch, might I ask you to continue working with Bagluk on our means to returning home? The rest of us will see to gathering the people of the Crystarium in the Extrea. Extrea? We have to reach out to anyone and everyone who might be willing to lend an ear. With any luck, word will spread and more will accompany them. I've seen many a great and terrible thing in my long life, as has the Exarch, no doubt. Of man I can say this: his memory is short, his heart fickle. Let us pray that your words reach him. Yeah, that's sort of the problem of the whole thing, right? There can be no darkness without light, and so it was that Artbird was there in your hour of need. The people must be told. Is that true? It's kind of a weird decision, to be honest. It's I'm still not really sure what I should make of this. Feels a bit strange somehow. So I guess we have to talk to everyone. Let's start over here then. Wait. Let's go to the Spagarix? I have no clue how you pronounce this, but Chesamil. My, what a wonderful surprise. Though I hope you being here doesn't mean someone's been hurt. Thanks to you, I've had far fewer patients coming through my door of late, which is a shame, come to think of it. I've had fewer opportunities to test my new medicines. Yeah. I jest, of course. It's actually been quite pleasant to have a few moments to myself now and again. I can imagine. The truth about the Warriors of Light, but the Exarch has already spoken with me about them. Well, if there's more to the tale, I'd very much like to hear it. Oh, so we're just... I thought we were telling them, but apparently we're just going around and basically inviting people to come with us. I really I have to go down to the Cabinet of Curiosity. I mean, I do like, looking at all of this again. It's such a cool place, and it's a bit underutilized, I think. Of course, it plays an important role in the story, but a lot of these... I mean, they do make you visit a few places here and there during the Shadowbringers main story, but overall, I feel like they could have done a bit more with it. I mean, the crafting quests, I think, they at least made you visit a few more places here and there and meet some more people in the Crystarium, but still, it's... Wait, can I have to go down here, right? There's nothing new going on here, unfortunately. This is also something... The Crystalline Mean. These quests, I thought it was a great idea to basically add these role quests to crafting and gathering as well. But it would have been kind of cool to see them be continued at some point. You know, just add like 1 or 2 quests here and there through the patches, just so that you know that everything you did in here actually, you know, changed something and helped the people. Would have been kind of cool to have a few more quests here added. Well, what a coincidence. I was just reading over a letter I received from Grenoble not long ago. He says a visitor from the Castarium found him at the bottom of the ocean, and that he inspired him to reach new artistic heights. Well, yeah, that would have been me. Well, I can only think of one person capable of both feats, though I'd say the letter is far more impressive. To think fate could bring the two of you together in such a place. Sorry? You mean the Exarch didn't tell us the whole story of the Warriors of Light? Well, whatever he's left unsaid, I'm all ears. Wait, what's... That's... The only gripes I had with this place is that you can't go... There's no staircase leading down from this place directly to where the hunting, the Kupu nut hunting stuff is. Should have added maybe one more staircase here, rather than you having to go over here and then, you know. This is also kind of a, I mean, it looks cool, but from a usability standpoint, I guess it's quite the annoying staircase. Then again, it's a very long one. I mean, it is quite the... Well, it's 10 meters at least. So, you need kind of a long staircase for that. And then, of course, we have the staircases of all staircases leading down to the Hall of Curiosities. No, wait, Hall? Cabin of Curiosity. I mean, just imagine working here, right? In reality. If this was a real place. Imagine working here and having to go up these stairs every time you want to talk to another person, you know, in the Crystarium. Or return home. Because that's quite a lot of stairs. I mean, I guess you would be pretty fit, right? Well then. Wait, do we have to go all the way up? Yeah, we do. More. This place still looks very cool. I really like the aesthetic of all the books. No, this can't be. Surely there is at least one book here that does not cast the Warriors of Light and their deeds in such a negative light. Oh, he's already researching that, I guess. Forgive me, the Cabinet of Curiosity has been bustling with visitors of late, but I fear our repository lacks for the knowledge they seek. The people wish to know the truth of the Flood, of the Warriors of Light. I've searched high and low, but alas, every account portrays them as no better than sin-eaters, abominations worthy only of scorn and resentment. I know they were not always judged so harshly, yet I can find no proof, and I dare call myself a librarian. I mean, most accounts of that were probably destroyed in the Flood, right? He would address the people and tell them the truth of the Warriors of Light, of the Flood. How wonderful! You have regaled me with the tale once before, but I should love to hear it again. Oh, and you may be assured I will not come alone. Alright. Everybody else is just jumping down. Yeah, let's go back up the stairs. I actually don't know why they decided to make this place so huge. I mean, I guess it would make sense if you consider that this is sort of the last fortress of this world, but at the same time it's unrealistically big at points, right? I mean, I know it's an MMO and they tend to sort of oversize the playable space, but I do think it's a bit unfortunate that they didn't go with more realistic proportions for some of these areas. Then again, you have to consider that making them more detailed or you know, if you make these areas smaller, you'd have like the detail, and if you would still want to achieve the same size overall, so make the Crystarium the size it is now, but make the individual areas smaller and kind of more realistic, would at the same time mean that you would need more polygons basically to create the whole place, or more you'd have to design more things, I guess, right? So by doing it this way, they can probably cut down on the development time of places like these while still making them pretty big, and in that sense make them more realistic to what they're supposed to be, like the fortress where a lot of the last people on the first are living. Yeah, so it's always a compromise, of course, but you know, one that sadly I think can't really be done any other way. Come to browse wares in the market, have you? Well, I can guarantee you'll have no trouble finding what you need, whatever it may be. Under Hulmore's new leadership, trade has never been more prosperous. Word is that fellow from the Daedalus Stoneworks has taken over as mayor. Did he really? Little wonder business is booming the way it is. I imagine it won't be long before all of Norvrand reaps the benefits. But you've not come to talk about the market. Something on your mind. I see. The Exarch did mention they had something to do with you returning the knight to Norvrand. Alright, consider my interest piqued. And I guess the last one is in the Wandering Stairs. Well, well, to what do I owe the pleasure? Whatever it is, I must ask you be brief. With the night returned, visitors have been flocking to the Crystarium, and I find myself too busy by half. I don't mind it though. Seeing the stairs so full of life and excitement, one can almost forget the flood ever happened. The truth about the Warriors of Light. But you already told me all there is to know, didn't you? Well, if there's more to their story, I'd love to hear it. Maybe then I can compete with Ciela and regale patrons with stories of their heroism. Perhaps I'll even inspire a few aspiring adventurers. Yeah. I mean, she was with them, right? Welcome to the Wandering Stairs, love. What? What does that look for? I'm still a tavern wench, aren't I? We all have our parts to play. How fare you of late? Still tending the barn, cleaning up after drunkards and Gwynard. If this is the punishment you had in mind, I struggle to fathom a harsher fate. In all seriousness, I have been making an effort to use my spare moments to entertain patrons with stories of the Warriors of Light, the truth, with all the forgotten glories and sordid details. This being a bar, most of the folks lending an ear are a few drinks deep, so there's no telling how much of it they retain, or believe for that matter, but I'll keep at it. Stories have a way of spreading. Yeah, so she is basically already doing the work that we are trying to do now, isn't she? Why, only the greatest villain of her day, the mysterious architect of countless tragedies all across Norvrand, who finally faced justice at the hands of the Warriors of Light. The betrayer whose defeat set emotion events culminating with a flood of light. but you knew that much, didn't you? Before I took that name, I was known by another in the 13th, a shot all but subdued by darkness. There I met with Asians who convinced me that the only path to salvation was to embrace the dark and journey onto this world. I had two objectives. One was to raise up heroes brave and true, worthy champions of the light, Artbird and the others. I would join them in their journey and shepherd them unto glory. Heroes need enemies to grow stronger, and so I sowed the seeds of discord. From Lakewind to Colusia, from Emerang to Ilmag, I set in motion events that would forever change the lives of my comrades and countless others. My second objective was contingent on the first. I would confront the adventurers forged by hardship into warriors of light and strike them down at the height of their power, ensuring that the delicate balance between the primordial forces would be preserved just so. But in the end, I failed. Right. I totally forgot about that. That she was from the 13th. This is still, like, I mean, these are so big revelations, right, in retrospect. And it's not really, at least so far, it's not really had... It's still only this sort of, well, not really side story, but it's definitely not been a main point in the story so far, right? I mean, maybe now we kind of get to the truth of that. Artbird, Lamid, Brandon, Rendaray, Neilbaird. These are the names of the villains responsible for the Flood of Light which nearly destroyed our world. Lies and slander, of course. They were as much victims of fate as any of us. They traveled the length and breadth of Norvrend, helping those in need, and for their deeds came to be known as heroes. But sometimes all it takes to destroy your reputation is a bad turn. And yet, despite everything that happened, they refused to give up. They cut a deal with the man in white and made one last desperate gamble. But you know that tale better than me, don't you? Yeah. It's actually kind of cool that you have her sort of as a reminder, right? There is so much to the story in Final Fantasy XIV that you really sometimes just forget about, you know, details like that, even though it's a very important detail that she came from the 13th, right? But I didn't really remember that because it was so much, like all the revelations in Shadowbringers are so important and meaningful and complex and layered that you know, details like that sometimes just go over your head. But again, maybe this time it actually plays a part in what we're going to do next. Well, but for now, I think I'm gonna take a break because it's almost noon. So I'll have lunch and then come back and continue this tale of the Warriors of Light. And maybe we can actually... There are a lot of people here. Maybe we can actually convince the inhabitants of the Crystarium of their deeds, right? So let me log out in my room and... yeah. I mean, I don't know how long it'll be, probably maybe an hour, maybe a bit longer until I return, but then we are gonna tackle the rest of the story. So far, we haven't even reached the new dungeon, right? So there's definitely a lot more to go, and I'm really looking forward to it. But that's been it for now. If you have been, thanks for watching. I hope you tune in the next time I'm live, and see you then. Bye-bye.